Sangye, Chedan, Sangye, Janan, Lo, Chancho, Bardon, Dane, Gyaso, Jen, Dagye, Cheche, Gebe, Sonam, Yen, Chola, Benjire, Sangye, Chupara, Joy, Sangye. Chedan, Sangye, Janan, Lo, Chancho, Bardon, Dane, Gyaso, Jen, Dagye, Cheche, Gebe, Sonam, Yen, Chola, Benjire, Sangye, Chupara, Sangye, Zogye, Shonam, Lo, Chancho, Bardon, Dani, Gyaso, Chen, Dagye, Cheche, Gebe, Sonam, Yen, Chola, Benjire, Sangye, Chupara, Sa shi bege joje me do zhama re ra lin shen yin de jian ban de san ye shen de me de me wang zhe ge nam da shen lan je ba ra sho ye da ma gu ru ra na me da la gam ni da ya mi. So we will be reading from the book, Words of My Perfect Master. And if you have the book, the page number is 198. In English, it's 198. The chapter that we are covering is known as Arousing Bodhicitta or Generating Bodhicitta. And within that, there is the training the mind in the four infinite or boundless qualities. The four qualities are the infinite joy, infinite love, infinite compassion, and infinite equanimity. So sometimes we call it infinite, sometimes we call it boundless. Basically, they are the same thing. So of the four, we have studied on the infinite equanimity. So by training in equanimity, we make everything level, on the same level, even, whether it's our enemies, whether it's our friends, or whether it's complete strangers. Of course, we are not saying that enemy, friend, and stranger are all same. They are not same, but we look at them in the same way. Enemies, friends, and strangers. We are all same in the sense that we all wish for happiness. We all wish to do away with unhappiness. In that manner, friends, enemies, and strangers are all same. So all same as myself. So for that reason, they all deserve love. They all deserve compassion. They all deserve joy. So with that understanding, that was the understanding we set last week. The practice on equanimity. Sometimes we also call it practice of impartiality. So impartial, equanimity, unbiased, so they're all the same. Basically, it means to make everything even. Now, today we will study on meditation of love, on love. So today's topic will be on the meditation on love. So we trained on meditation. We studied meditation on equanimity, so everything even. Whether it's your friends, there is no attachment. Whether it's your enemy, there is no strong aversion. Whether it's a complete stranger, there is no negligence, right? So that is meditation on equanimity, which we sort of studied last week. So now today we will study on meditation on love. So so the meditation on love is similar. So when we talk about meditation on love, we are talking about applying meditation, loving meditation on all the sentient beings. All the sentient beings meaning, so there are three types of people in the world: your friends, your enemies, and your complete stranger. Basically, people who you like, people who you don't like, and people who you don't care about, indifferent. So there are three types of people. So when we meditate on love, we extend our loving meditation towards towards the three types of people: the friends, the enemies, and the strangers. So in that sense, the way we extend our love for the three types of people is just like a parent would extend their love for their children. So the children, the parents extend their love to their children um, without any uh, wish or expectation for something in return. So when a parent takes care of their children, they're not thinking about whether the children will take care of them or be good to them or anything like that. Whether their children do return the favor to their parent or not, the parents do not take care of their children in order to have some favor in return. The parents take care of their children simply because they love them, and usually that's what we call unconditional love: mother's love or father's love, parents' love. There are cases when some people would have very difficult relationship with their parents, but in generally speaking, people, uh, parents have very strong love for their children. Their children have very strong love for their parents, and they take care of each other. So in that sense, generally speaking, parents' love for their children are unconditional. It does not depend on anything, any sort of favor in return. So therefore, the parents' love is unconditional love. So that is the type of love that we are trying to generate for the three types of people: the enemies, the friends, and the strangers. So the three types of people, we call them mother sentient beings. We call them all sentient beings. We call them mother sentient beings. We call them sentient beings. So we call them by different names. But in other words, to put it simply, we are talking about every other beings. Everyone, basically, what we are trying to say is everybody. So everybody, we when we extend our unconditional love. When we practice on the meditation on love, meditation on love, loving meditation. Loving meditation cannot be practiced. The purpose of loving meditation is to extend this quality on all sentient beings, everybody, not just this or that person. Or this person I like, so I will love that person. I will extend loving meditation to this person. But okay, this person I do not like, so I will not do any loving meditation on that one. Those people I do not even know, so they're complete stranger. I don't care about them. Not like that. So loving meditation should be the purpose of loving meditation is to extend or to cover all the people, everybody, myself, others, uh, myself and others, right? So in that sense, all the sentient beings, myself included, all the sentient beings, everybody, basically are working towards happiness. We all wish for happiness. We all wish to have a content life. We all wish to have something good in life. Nobody wants negative, pain, bad things like that. We all wish for something good. Uh, but if you look at things, happiness is always momentary. For the sentient beings, happiness comes and stays for a certain moment, and then it goes. So basically, happiness, joyfulness is a fleeting moment, fleeting experience. It's never uh, eternal. It's not eternal. It's not forever. And those who wish to have happiness and end suffering, which is basically all of us, uh, even though we wish to end suffering and gain happiness, um, our actions, our activities that we engage in, uh, uh, always lead us into the things that we wish to not to have. So we wish to be happy, but our actions, our thoughts, our commitments always lead us to the opposite direction. Mm. So when we reflect on that, we really feel a very strong sense of not necessarily pityness, but sense of love. When your children are suffering, when your children are sick, when your children is cold, when your children are hungry, etc., the parent immediately feel immense love, strong love towards their children, right? So you have 5 children, one of them is uh, hungry or one of them is sick, then you will leave other children and take care of the one who is sick immediately without any reason, without any sort of deep contemplation, deep thinking. You will just go and take care of the one who is most sick. Uh, so when we look at all the sentient beings, they are all suffering. They are all in some sort of pain or agony of one sort or another, either mentally ill, physically ill, or something. So basically, everybody is struggling. So when we reflect on that, we tend to feel immense love for all of those people who are in deep suffering and agony. So when you are aware of the pain that you see in other people, in someone else, just by seeing the pain alone does not help. When you see the pain, you also feel the pain, and you become sort of devastated yourself. Uh, that will not help anybody. When you usually a lot of time when we hear the story of other people who are suffering, we are empathetic to their uh, suffering, their pain, and then we feel the pain too, and we just both of us, the person who is suffering. So my friend is in pain, my friend is suffering, and he tells me the story, and I'm also in pain, and then I'm also at loss. My friend is suffering, and I'm also suffering. We are both suffering because I love my friend. So when my friend shares his sad story, he's suffering and I'm suffering. We are both suffering at the same time. So if we get stuck here, if we just remain there, then we get stuck. And then that will actually drag us both, my friend and myself, the person who is actually going through the suffering and the person uh, who is listening to the sad story. So we both suffer and we both get stuck there. So what we do is we take it one step up. We go a little bit further. What we do now is over and over again, uh, over and over again, we meditate on what we now. This is where the loving meditation comes in. So we meditate on like this. So this is what we have to think. How wonderful, how wonderful would it be if each one of those people who is suffering, uh, if their suffering goes away, if they if their suffering is gone away, uh, those who wish for happiness, how wonderful would it be if they are able to gain their happiness. If someone is hungry, may they can gain happiness from getting food. If someone is sick, may they get happiness from getting cured, getting well. If someone is poor, may them get happiness from endowed with funds, money, finance. Um, if someone is suffering from loneliness, may they get wonderful friends and partners. So happiness from that. So basically, towards each different person who is suffering from, towards each different individual who is suffering from a different, uh, a unique kind of pain. May their pain go away one by one. May they be able to gain joyfulness uh, of getting the opposite of the pain. Uh, whatever pain, whatever suffering or pain they're going through, may they be able to get rid of that pain and get the opposite of that pain. So basically, if you are suffering from hunger, the pain is hunger. So the opposite of that would be full belly, right? Your stomach is full. So simple like that. So meditate like that. So that is loving meditation. So in the sutras, in the text, Dharma text, usually we talk about loving mm, loving actions, okay? Loving actions of the body, loving actions of the speech, loving actions of the mind. Basically, in Buddhism, in the Dharma, we always talk about the three things: mind, body, and speech. The mind, the body, and the speech, right? What you speak, what you think, and what you do. So what you do it lovingly. What you say it lovingly. What you think it lovingly. Uh, so that is known as, so how you do that is by refraining from harming others and trying your best to help others. So that would be uh, loving actions from the speech, uh, speak lovingly, think lovingly, and act lovingly. So to back this thing up, there is a quote, citation from one master, 8th century master by the name of Shantideva. So in the book, name of the book is The Way of the Bodhisattva. So in the book, he says, whenever catching sight of others, look on them with open, loving heart. So when you look at someone, so this is the, loving action from the body, loving action from the speech, loving action from the mind, right? So when you look at someone, look at them with a very loving face. When you speak to someone, speak to them in a very loving manner. When you think of someone, think of them in a very loving manner, right? So the citation is that the quote is that whenever catching sight of others, look on them with loving, open, and loving heart. Um, so there was a story behind that. So mm, that one should not look at people with a when you look at someone, don't think of that person in a negative manner and then show very um, what we usually call a dark face. Dark face meaning a glaring face, an angry face. So when you do that, there is a very strong, heavy consequences. So the story goes that there was a very powerful, very, very powerful king, a ruler, back in the day, in India back in the day. So he is very powerful, and he is very powerful. Because of that, he everybody he thinks that he is the most superior, and everybody is lower than him, right? So when he looks at anybody, he looks with a very angry face, and he looks down upon them. Uh, and he looks everybody who comes to his kingdom, he never respects them. He disrespects everybody, and he looks down upon them. And so the when even when holy people, holy men comes to visit the kingdom, he would still very disrespectfully look upon them, so on and so forth. So the story goes that as a consequence of him looking down and with an angry face, right, not with a loving face, but with an angry face to everybody, he was after when the king died, he was born as a preta. Preta is a hungry ghost. You know the five realms, the god realm, the um, human realm, the animal realm, the hell realm, and hungry ghost realm. So he was born in the hungry ghost uh, world, hungry ghost realm, and so he stayed there. Uh, and he was born as a hungry ghost who would eat the leftover food around the stove, around the gas, right? When you cook the cooking stove. So he was born as a preta, hungry ghost, around the cooking stove, and the food that he would get is the leftover. People might sometimes scatter when they are cooking the food. And after his life as a preacher was over, when he passed away from there, because he looked down upon holy men, holy people. He was born from the preta, from the hungry ghost, to something lower than that, which is the hell realm. So whatever actions you commit to, whether it's a physical action with your body, whether it's a verbal action with your speech, whether it's a mental action with your thoughts, whatever you do, physically, mentally, verbally, do it gently. Do it without any harshness, nothing hurtful, nothing harsh, nothing harmful. Do it gently, do it pleasantly, um, with joyfulness. Uh, and basically, your goal is to make, not to make, to make, to help others, to help as much as you can. And even if you cannot help them, at the very least, do not harm them. So this is the basic mantra. Very simple. Do your best to help people. Do your best to help people. And if you cannot help them, at least refrain, at least stop harming them. So very simple. That is the gist. That is the summary. That is the practice of loving meditation in a nutshell. So whenever you, for example, when you express something, when you want to say something, when you want to express something verbally, do not express them in the form of contempt, looking down on other people, with criticism, saying negative things. Of course, there's something called constructive criticism that is different. Constructive criticism means like, parents, a lot of time parents would do constructive criticism on their children because they want, and teachers also do constructive criticism. That is to, for the person whom you are criticizing to improve. So, and then you also, with constructive criticism, what happens usually is you provide a solution to. With negative criticism, there is just you're not good, you're not good, this is not good, this is wrong, everything is wrong. But with constructive criticism, yes, this is wrong, that is wrong, but you should do it this way and that way. So with constructive criticism, you also provide a solution to the problem that you are pointing out. With negative criticism, there is no solution. You're just saying bad things about it. You are basically in what we usually say, bad mouthing, right? You're bad mouthing others. So do not do that. Don't belittle others. Don't look down upon others. Don't say negative things about others without for no reason, and out of jealousy, etc. So make every single word that you say, every single word that comes off your mouth, when you say something, when you are using your words, you are also using your air, your oxygen, right? So it's something that it's very important. It's very precious. Your air, your oxygen is very precious. So why you waste them into saying something negative? When you use your oxygen, use it, and you are using your energy, you are using your time, you are using everything, right? When you speak to someone, you are thinking about what to say, you are utilizing your physical body, uh, your tongues and the vocal cortex and everything. So basically, vocal cords and everything. So basically, when you talk to someone, you are using a lot of energy, a lot of time, uh, a lot of oxygen. So why you should misuse them by doing something, saying something negative, doing something negative, do it for the purpose of doing something good and positive. So when you look, when you speak, or when you do things, do it lovingly in a very pleasant manner. So when we say pleasant, we're not saying just make it look like pleasant, make it look nice, but from from the bottom of your heart, you have some ill intention, negative thoughts towards them. Not like that. As I said, the three things has to match: mind, body, and speech. Right? Thought has to be positive, action has to be positive, and speech also has to be positive. So it's not like I think about something negative. Okay, if I say good things to that person, I will get money. If I do some nice thing to that person, I will get a promotion. If you have such intention, that is a selfish intention. So it's not wrong in the worldly sense, in a world in a materialistic world, you would do that. But from a spiritual point of view, when you do this kind of thing, then you are getting nowhere. So there should not be a mismatch between the mind, body, and speech. Everything should match up. So if these things do not match, your action and your speech do not match, your thoughts and your action do not match, your speech and your action do not match. When there's a mismatch, then it's called a hypocrisy. So, and then you try to do that. You try to speak nice things and appear to be doing nice things. Well, like giving money to people, like poor people, and then, this kind of thing, but you are doing it for a publicity stunt, right? Etc. So these kind of things, uh, um, of course, when you give some money to poor people, there's always benefit. Okay, there's no doubt about that. But if you do give the money for publicity, if you make a donation out of for publicity, then the result is very minimal, compared to doing it with a pure heart. So if you give money with a pure heart, wholeheartedly, with a good intention, with good speech, like giving respectfully. So whenever we offer money to the poor people, we offer with respect, not like throw it to them, like out of uh, disrespect and by looking down upon them. So you are the worst of the society, and I just give this money to you because you are so annoying. Go away. Not like that. If you give money like that, actually, especially if you give money and hurt their feelings by giving money, by looking down upon them, and make them feel worse than they actually were, then it's better not to give money to poor people. So this is giving money is just one example. So there are things like speaking, talking, or giving providing hospitality, saying nice thing, everything. So whenever you say nice thing doesn't mean, oh, you look very beautiful. Uh, your house is so nice. Just by saying that doesn't mean anything. So it has to come from a pure intention. If it doesn't come from a pure intention, then all this is just pretense, just false, a farce, we call it. So we have to be careful whether our mind, body, and speech, our thoughts, our speech, our thoughts, our speech, and our actions, they match or not match. So this is very important. Especially if you are a powerful person, if you are an influential person, if you are a rich person, powerful person, or basically you have people working under you, right? You are a person, you are some sort of a person, you are a person with some sort of authority. Then it's very important to be careful whether your actions are, whether your thoughts, action, and speech are pleasant or not. Pleasant meaning positive, right? Genuinely positive, genuinely pleasant or not. Very important. Uh, there are many. There is the danger. There is the danger of giving into your, because when you have some power, when you have some authority, then things get over your head, and then you think you are, a very important person, and then you mistreat everyone who is working under you. And what happens is, most of the time, no matter how powerful and influential you are, there is always another person whom you have to report to. No matter how rich you are, no matter how powerful you are, you still have to respond to, or answer to someone else. That is for sure, no matter how powerful you are. And nobody is above that. So, um, so what many people do is, when they have some sort of authority, some sort of power, they mistreat the people who are working under them, right? Cheating on them, say abusing them, sometimes beating them up. So many bad negative things, right? When you have some authority, some power, you misuse that power, that authority, and treat other people who is under you very badly. And at the same time, you also get mistreated by your boss. the people who are more powerful than you, who are more um, who are more powerful than you, and who are more uh, authoritative than you. So they mistreat you. And what happens is a vicious cycle. It's a samsara again. Like you get mistreated by your boss, and when you come home, you mistreat your family and other people like that. So there are many. This is a very very cowardly act. Very coward. Coward means like no courage. So this is a cowardly act. A lot of people who have given into drinking habits, like basically drunkards. A lot of them, they drink a lot, and then they have a quarrel or fight in the bar with other people, and then they get beaten up, and then they are in a very bad mood, and then because their ego has been hurt, other people have beaten them up. Then they come home and they beat their wives, their children, etc. So things like that happen. So that's very sad, very cowardly thing, very coward. So these things happen. So these things do happen. These things should be avoided. And it's important. Okay, when you engage in these kind of things, these kind of activities, when you act in these kind of cowardly activities, um, then karma. This is karma, right? This is action. So every action has a reaction. So what you treat to others, you also get the same in return. So you will again be mistreated by your boss, people more powerful than you, and then you come back home and you mistreat people who are under your authority, and then you go to your workplace or outside, and then you get mistreated, and this continues forever. So if you want to escape from that stream of vicious cycle, then you have to stop mistreating others first. So it's important to think or pray. So prayer is actually thinking. Yeah. If you don't think, if you just recite some words, it's not a real prayer. So think, pray on the bottom of your heart over and over again. Whenever you get the time, whenever you have some free time, whenever you have the time, whenever you could, you recall this practice, just think that throughout all my lives, this life and all the lives to come in the future, throughout all my lives, may I never, ever harm even a single hair on someone else's, another being's head. May I never harm anybody. And may I uh, always help other sentient beings. May I never harm anyone, and I may always help everyone. So basically, just two mantra, right? Two very simple mantra. Uh, may I never harm anybody, and may I always help everybody. So this thing you keep in your mind, and this thing you recite to yourself, you mutter. You can just whisper to yourself. I will never harm anybody. I will always help everybody. I will never harm anybody. I will always help everybody. I will never harm anybody. I will always help everyone. Like that. And this is your practice. This is your. If you people ask what is the basic practice of Buddhism, what did Buddha teach? Buddha teach so many things, right? If you have to summarize everything, just say Buddha said, do not harm anyone. Do not harm anyone, and help anyone you can. So that is the basic teaching of the Buddha. You can say that. So with that mindset, every day, if you continue with if you think like that on a daily basis, then of course, realistically speaking, there will be many problems in your life. Okay, many bad things will happen. Uh, in your life. But if you have this kind of thought, people will cheat on you, people will abuse you, you will be hurt emotionally, financially, many things, so many negative things will happen. That will happen for sure in our life, right? Because we are living in samsara, so there's no escape from that as long as we live in samsara. But if you have that kind of thought, like I will not treat anyone negatively, I will not harm anybody, and I will treat everyone with respect and help them as much as I can. If you have that sort of mindset, attitude, then you will be able to persevere. You will be able to uh, fare well through this misadventure of samsara. So it's true. Not all of us are powerful, rich, and running big companies or like that. So we may not be that powerful or authoritative, but we all have people who has a less fortunate than us. There are people who are working for us, like our staff in our house, in people who work with us, people who help us, many people like that, right? People who listen to us. So make sure that you do not abuse them, you do not mistreat them. People who are working for you, working under you, working with you, whoever it is, people who listen to you. If you are older and they are younger, treat them uh, in a very gentle way. Talk to them nicely. Do not criticize them. Do not abuse them, etc. And because thinking like, oh, I'm older person, I'm the older one, I have more experience, so the younger ones should listen to me. I can treat them in any way I please. Not like that. Don't do that. Then also from whether it's verbally, don't say negative things, criticize negatively. Physically, don't beat them or uh, mistreat them, and mentally, don't think bad about them. Yeah, that, and also from our for those who are younger, treat the elders with much respect, and usually there's a practice like whoever is older than yourself, treat them like if it's your parents or your brothers. Um, so there's a practice for a monk. We usually treat all the elderly women as our mothers, and if someone is just a little bit older or maybe younger than us, we treat them as our sisters, like that. So this practice actually comes from the Bodhisattva's way of practice. So anyway, my point is, you treat all the elders as your parents or as your elder brother, like that. So basically, treat your elders also with respect. So don't say, "Oh, these people are useless now. Their time is already gone. Uh, now we don't need them anymore." Not like that. So the elderly people should respect the younger ones, and the younger ones should also respect the older one. Respect do not mean like, oh, you. It's not like the movies where when someone comes, you bow your head down like this. That is not real respect, right? This is just a gesture. It's a gesture. It's a drama, right? It's not necessarily a respect. Respect comes from here, deep down. So Master Adisha, Joa Adisha. So he says, to be kind to those who have come from afar, those people who have come from very far away land to see you, to hear something from you, to have to get something from you, right? To hear something from you, to get something from you. If they are looking for a work, they are looking for some advice, whatever you can give them, right? To be kind to those who have come from afar, to those who have been ill for a long time, or to our parents in their old age, uh, to being kind to those who come from far away, being kind to those who were sick for a long time, being kind to our own parents especially when they get old. The uh, um, the merits that you accumulate from doing this is equivalent to meditating on emptiness. So because emptiness is a big thing, right? Emptiness is a very, very big thing in Buddhism. So meditating on emptiness is very powerful. And when you meditate on emptiness, you gain wisdom and you gain merit also. So when you treat people come from faraway land, people who are sick for a long time, or your own parents, when you treat them, when you take care of them, when you are kind to them, this merit is equal, same as meditating on emptiness itself. That's Master Adisha said. So our parents are very kind and have shown immense love and kindness to us. So it's because of their love that we were uh, introduced into this world. It is because of their love that we survive uh, this world. So when we were kids, we don't have to worry about anything. Our parents provide, however poor our parents may be, they will make sure that they give us the better food, they give us the better clothes, they put us in the more comfortable side of the house or the bed, so on and so forth. So they were very kind to us when we were uh, 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 feeble, when we were feeble and fragile, when we could not do much, when we are very when we are fragile, they really take care of us. So now when they become old, so children and old people are very similar. They think and act very similarly. And so when we were children, we are very, very annoying to our parents, but they don't mind that. They take care of us with such a loving manner, with such loving thoughts and loving actions, right? They really take care of us. We do not know how to use our spoon. We do not know how to eat, how to drink, how to um, how to shit, uh, how to walk, nothing, how to speak, nothing. Our parents teach us everything, right? Such a simple thing like how to talk, we do not know. How to walk, we don't know. How to stand up, we don't know. How to eat food, we don't know. Simple things we do not know, right? But uh, now, reverse the occasion. Our parents now they also get old. They do not know how to use the mobile phone. They do not know how to use the internet. They do not know how to use, the uh, new inventions. Because it's a new thing, they do not know. Because when walking is new, we do not know how to walk. When speaking is new, we do not know how to speak. Somebody has to teach us, right? So the same goes with our parents. They do not know how to use the technology. They do not know, etc. Many things like that. So when these things happen, we become so impatient and we scold our parents, like saying, not just our parents, the older generation, like we scold them by saying, "Hey, you do not know even this simple thing." It's so, and we ignore them, things like that. So this is just an example, but and there are many cases like how we really when our parents or elderly people they become older, they also start to act like children, and they become some sort of annoying. I agree, all people are annoying, but children are also annoying. When we children are annoying, our parents didn't complain by saying they're so annoying. They take care of us. So when our parents, the older people also become annoying, we have to take care of them. It's a very logical thing to do. It's a very, of course, it's a very moral thing to do, and also it's not just moral. It's logical also. So we have to take care of them. We do not disrespect them. We look after them. It's very important. So basically, do not harm others and help much as you can. That's the gist of it. That's the not summary. So by harming others, by cheating others, by stealing, by killing, all this kind of thing, you will not uh, get your desired result. You want to become rich, you want to get position, you want to get fame by cheating people, by doing this kind of thing. You will never achieve that. Uh, so if you cheat people and get some money, you will not be rich. You will just have money. There's a saying: some people are so poor that all they have is money. So uh, when you cheat people, when you steal from someone and get the money, put the money in, have the money in your hand, you're not rich. You're not rich. You have money, but you're not rich. Uh, like that. So when you mistreat people, who work for you, and that does not make you powerful. That does not make you powerful. You're just abusing your power, abusing whatever little power you have. There's a term for that. It's actually called inferior complexity. inferior complex. So basically, you actually think very little of, you really have a lack of self-confidence. And by exerting your power and authority, it makes you feel powerful. That's why you're doing it. You actually feel very little, very low of yourself, very little of yourself. And that's why in order to make yourself feel better, superior than other people, you exert your authority when you have some sort of position. So that's called an inferior complex. Like that. So abusing your power, these things get you nowhere. And it's in the end, in the long run, especially, it will only makes you fall much deeper than the walls that you have climbed. So with this, having a loving thought, loving action, and loving speech towards all sentient beings, and refraining from negative and harmful thoughts, harmful speech, and harmful action towards all sentient beings, we will conclude today's session. Thank you. Okay, so we open up for Q&A now.
We don't have any questions yet so far, Rinpoche. I don't see any questions.
Okay. Sure. Let me stop here.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Okay, so we will conclude here. Thank you very much, everyone. And yeah, we will do the dedication now. Gewa di nyodo dang lama sangye ngyo nem chowa chigang ma de kege sala ge bara sho janjo semjo rembo je ma ye ba na ma ge yo Kewa nyamba me bara yang kone kondo me wara sho aidere jen jes me aigem boy jan Boy, my good, Jomain, this I will. Anjin again, so again, so Lord, sign, time, bish, time, lies, so winding, boy, sign, time, time, lies, so winding. Dembe ni bon, dembe bema, naman do you.
Chancho, Los Chancho, Takunto, Chochen, Rampa, Solvate.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Thank you all. Please, thank you, Rinpoche, for your blessing, and thank you for support from all members of the Dharma family. Please forgive me if any mistake happened.
Not at all. Thank you for your translation. Wonderful.
All the
Thank you.
best. Have a nice
Thank
Sunday.
you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Rinpoche.
Goodbye, Rinpoche. Bye-bye.